Hey, welcome back to class. Today we're going to start off with random callout. So let's go ahead and let's start with upward strike number 1. Just a good one to start with. If you feel like moving around, again, you're more than welcome to move around. You don't have to stay still. If you want to stay still or you just don't have space because you don't want to break your TV or whatever, welcome to do that as well. All right, let's go upward strike number 4. Forward strike number 1. Let's do it 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go variation strike number 4. All right, let's go sideways strike number 4. We'll do that 10 times each as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's do downward strike number 4. Because why not? Let's just do a lot of the 4s, I guess. Let's go opposite of that. Let's go upward strike number 7. All right, let's do a sideways strike number 3. 2, sorry. I was thinking 2. I know I said 3. 2. Under, over. Let's do forward strike number 2. And other arm. All right, let's do variation strike number 2. Yeah, sure. We can do 2s now. Sideways strike number 8. Now let's do extended strike number 5. Now let's do downward strike number 8. Switch sides, same thing. Downward number 8. Upward strike number 5. All right, let's see, let's go forward strike number 3. Other side. All right, let's do variation strike number 5. All right, time. So now the next thing we're gonna do is just gonna be angled gripping. So we've done that before. We're gonna do 2 minutes of angled gripping. Ready, begin. So get into a sparring stance. If you're right hand dominant, put your right leg in the front and just practice your angled gripping. If you feel like you can, you're more than welcome to practice kind of moving maybe forward and backward. If you want to add some more dynamics to it, you can go side to side as well. But if not, for this level, I'll be happy if you're just standing still, but in a sparring stance. Missed that way too many times. That was in a grip. We can go upward gripping. You can go upward at an angle. You can go sideways. You can go downward at an angle. Or you can go straight downwards. I'm not a huge fan of this one though. And then you can do the same ones with a spin. Upward with a spin, angled with a spin, sideways with a spin, downward angled with a spin, or downward with a spin. We got quite a few different options. And try to mix it all up while just standing into a sparring stance. And time. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, double chucks. Go ahead and grab your other pair. And let's get ready. Okay, so the technique that we're gonna learn today is very similar to the one we learned in the last class. So last class we learned our diagonal strikes. So now we're gonna learn our triangle strikes. So a triangle strikes, it's basically a diagonal strike but with an extra step. So the way that this is gonna work is you're gonna strike out, making sure to reach out, go diagonal, then bring it across, all right, like this, and then raise it up. So it's a 3 count, 1, 2, 3. Now when I do this, I usually keep the chuck that I'm holding, the tip of the chuck that I'm holding, touching my body, right, as I bring it across, and then it bounces up. I've also heard this called a seatbelt strike, right, because it's kind of like a seatbelt because it goes diagonal from shoulder to hip and then across the waist, right? So kind of like a seatbelt. I call it a triangle strike, whatever you call it. I don't really care. It's just this. So we're reaching out to get our hit up. One thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to keep it in super close when you're going for that initial part, right? Reach out, reach out. Imagine it's a strike. You're not gonna strike like this. I see people do this and they're trying to go fast, and I get it if that's the whole point, but if it's a strike, make it a strike, right? So reach out with it. So we're gonna do one and then the other. So we'll do right hand and left hand, and we'll finish it before we start the alternating portion. So reach out, bring it across, up. Other hand, out, cross, up. Diagonal, cross, up. Diagonal, across, up. Diagonal, cross, up. So you see it's very similar to our diagonal strikes. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you're holding it like this, how I am, see how my elbows are kind of down, it's not like way up here, you'll quite a few times hit the chuck on the backside, right? That just happens. Don't worry about it if that hits it. It doesn't really matter. It's not gonna mess with you or mess it up unless you let it. Some people it bugs if they do that. If it bugs you, then just kind of hold your arms out a little bit further. But I get a little tired, so I just go here and I keep my arms nice and close to me. Sometimes I will reach out and extend it out, but just so you know, if you make contact with it, sorry, I'm going doubles already. If you make contact with it, don't worry about it. Doesn't really matter. It's not wrong. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you need more time practicing that, you can continue practicing that. If you feel like you're ready to go ahead and kind of combine them or mesh them together a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Up to you, right? You can do one and the other, and then when you start to feel comfortable, try to start combining them. So the way this is gonna work is it's gonna go 1, 2, and now as I'm going for 3, the third one is to raise this up. That's when my other hand throws the strike out. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, across, throw, across, up and throw, across, up and throw, across, up and throw, across, up and throw. All right, so then when you start to go a little bit faster, it'll start to look like this. And you'll see, both hands are constantly moving, and that's the idea behind this, is we want both of them moving. But if I slow it down, across, up and throw, across, up and throw, across, up and throw, across, up and throw. One, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Across, throw, across, throw, across, throw, across, throw, across, throw, across, throw. right? As you start to speed up, it becomes, in my opinion, a little bit easier because they just kind of flow. But obviously you have to get the pattern down. If you don't have that down yet, it can be a little tricky. But then when you feel comfortable with it, feel free to start speeding it up. And you can go at whatever pace. You can actually go pretty fast with these strikes whenever you're doing it. Now, one thing I want you to try to avoid doing is going here and then bending the wrist a whole lot to get this to the other side, right? The way that we're gonna bring the tip across is by pulling my elbow off to the side. It can even go off to the side and a little bit back, but I don't want you to try to bend this wrist here. I see people do that quite often. They'll try to do this, right? They'll throw it out here and they'll keep their hand in the center and they'll try to do that, right? But look at my elbow. See how my elbow isn't really moving? I want my elbow to move. Throw it, elbow move. Throw, elbow moves, right? So that elbow pulling back is how I'm bringing it across my waist. Okay? And then we just tie them together. Down, across, up, down, across, up, down, across, up. So this is one and then the other. And then I can start tying them together by throwing the strike out as one of them is raising up. Now with both my hands are constantly moving, and you're just slightly offsetting the timing from each other. Now, you don't have to go this fast. You can go whatever pace you want to go. Try to start speeding it up if you can. All right, take a breath. Shake your arms out if you need to. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to be putting together 3 of the alternating strikes now. So it's gonna start off with an outward figure 8 alternating. So one hand and the other one's going right. So I'm not gonna, actually, we're not gonna do that. You have the option. I'm gonna give you the option, okay? So you can do one and then the other, or if you feel comfortable, you make it alternating where they tie in together, right? So one and the other will look like this. So it's gonna be outward figure 8, outward figure 8, diagonal, diagonal, triangle, triangle, okay? Or you can do alternating version, which is where they tie together, right? So with the outward figure 8, before it's done, I throw my other outward figure 8. Before that's done, I go diagonal, diagonal, and then I go triangle, triangle. So you notice I didn't wait for one to finish before I moved on to the next strike or the other hand strike. And then they're just kind of tying together. Even when I'm going, say, from my second outward figure 8, and this one's coming with a diagonal strike, notice as it's raising up, that's when it's striking. Always whenever we're doing this, when one is raising back up to the other shoulder, that's when the next strike is going. So after I finish that figure 8, I go for my diagonal, then my other diagonal comes, and now as this diagonal is coming back, then I throw my triangle, And as this triangle's coming up, then I throw my other triangle strike, right? And we just keep that going. So let's go ahead and let's work this pattern. Again, you have the option of either one and then the other or alternating, up to you. Try to get to alternating if you can, but if you don't feel comfortable with that yet or you're making a lot of mistakes, then just do one and the other and it's fine. And try to start off nice and slow, but still have them tied together. Figure eight, diagonal, diagonal, triangle, triangle, figure eight, diagonal, diagonal, triangle, triangle. Keep it going. Figure eight, diagonal, diagonal, triangle, triangle. Figure eight, diagonal, diagonal, triangle, triangle. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and start picking up that speed some. Give it a few more. All right, and time. Take a break. Breathe in and out. Let's go ahead and put one pair of trucks down. Put the white pair down, keep using your yellows. So, next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do speed strikes. So, first speed strike for today, we're gonna do 2 sets of it, is going to be our variation strike number 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my timer going. And I have a case for my watch again. This one's not broken now. And hopefully I won't accidentally stop it in the middle where I'm just doing a whole bunch and have no idea what my actual time is. Okay, so variation strike number 2, we're gonna do it 1 minute. We're trying to get 60 or as close to 60 as we can within 1 minute. The key here is really just trying not to miss it. You can go a little bit slower and get more reps than if you miss it once or twice at a faster pace. So just gonna be aware of that. It takes a while to recoup if you've missed one. Okay, so let's get set, on your mark, get set, go. And I said go, and I pressed the button and it didn't even go. Keep going, get to 60. All right, we're just gonna stop at 60. Oh, right time. I guess that was time. All right, that's weird. Okay. I guess my watch can run 2 timers at the exact same time. So that was time. So hopefully I didn't mess you up. I know I messed myself up trying to look at it and think that I started it. I don't know why I did that, but I guess I can run 2 timers at the same time, which is interesting. All right, either way, shake your arms out. I have no idea what I got. Sorry if I messed you up. Hopefully you were able to do a lot of them though, and just kept going. We'll still have a timer down in the bottom, so you'll at least have seen that going. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Okay, shake it out. We're gonna do one more set of variation strike number 2. Whenever I get ready. Hopefully you're already ready, because you're really good at this and you can just do like 200 of these in a row with no problem, no mistakes. I know, you're really good. We got it. All right, next set. We'll see if it actually shows it to me this time. On your mark, get set, go. I know for a fact I started it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Time. Okay, I got about 55 and I had 2 misses. Relatively close, but not quite there, not quite where I want to be. That's the hard one though, for me. Variation 2 is the hardest of all of the speed strikes or percentage strikes, right? So just kind of be aware of that. Don't beat yourself up too much if you miss those ones. It's the hard one. It really is. For me, it gets my chest tired, going over my head. Sometimes it'll make me miss it. And also, sideways strike number 2 is kind of difficult for a lot of people. So being fast at variation, which is just adding to a sideways strike 2, it can be hard. All right. The next one that we're gonna do is gonna be variation strike number 4. Right. Same thing, we're trying to get 60 within 60 seconds, or as close to it as possible, and as few misses as possible. Right. The goal of these speed strikes right now is to work on going as fast as you can without missing it. You might have to slow down a little bit at some point whenever you realize, hey, that's your upper limit as far as speed goes currently. You might have to slow down a little bit so that you catch consistently, and then go a little bit faster, and then slow down, right? And have little increments of higher speed until you get more consistent catching it and just not dropping it, okay? So let's go ahead and we're gonna get ready for our next set. On your mark, get set, go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 60. All right, I got 60, but I missed 1. So I'm gonna count that against me and I'm gonna drop it down to 59 instead of 60. It's okay, all right? goal, again, right now is really just to not miss any of them and to go as fast as possible without missing them. All right, we're gonna do another set in a second. Shake your arms out, get ready, do whatever it is you need to do to get ready. Get some good neck pops in there. All right, felt pretty good. All right, last one. Variation strike number 4. Your mark, get set, go. $40. 50. 60. All right, I felt it in the middle of 65, so I got 64, and I didn't miss it that time. So that's it's always good whenever I can do it without missing it. It's one of my goals, and it should be one of your goals as well, right? The point of this is to not miss the catches ever, ideally. Obviously, that's impossible for every single time, but that's what we try to strive for. Okay, our next section is going to be gripping. We know how to do this, right? 3 sets, 30 seconds. And we have it at the end of every single class so far. And we've had gripping, so we know how to do this. All right, let's get ready. Let's find my timer. On your mark, get set, go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, time. All right, I felt it at 73. So that'd be my time for today. Always a good feeling. First one, cool. I can feel my forearms starting to get a little fatigued. Right around 50, I almost dropped it because I didn't quite catch it good and it almost slipped out of my hand. Had to slow down for a second. It happens. Okay. But we'll see if we can beat our times again. And hopefully at this point you're over 60, or not over 60, over 50. If you're over 60, awesome, because that's the next goal. So if you're consistently over 50, work on trying to get consistently over 60. But if you're just over 50 each time, that's perfectly fine for where we're at currently, okay? You only need to pass 50 for this next exam that's coming up. It's coming up pretty soon too. Got this week, next week's prep week, and then we got exam. So almost there. So at this point, I'm hoping that you are over 50 relatively consistently. All right, that was our first set. Second set, on your mark, get set, go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 8, 9, 50, 60, time. All right. 62, I had quite a few mistakes. I hit my chest once, I hit my hip once, I dropped it once. It happens, right? Did good on my first one, this one, not as good. So don't beat yourself up over it, it's okay. But just know it happens, okay? So we got one more set of these. Let's keep it going. Shake your arms out, stretch your fingers back if you need to, because your forearms are tight and they don't want to close properly. It happens. All right, let's get ready. On your mark, get set, go. 10, 20, 30, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 50, 60, time. I got like 65. Wasn't very good, but you know, could have been better. I dropped the chucks. I ended up coming up with it, and I tried to catch it, and it hit right on the top of my thumb and bounced back and popped right out of my hands. So it happens. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do today is we're gonna do freestyle, right? So this is just pure freestyle, doing whatever you want to do. Ideally, if you can, move around a little bit. If you want to practice sparring freestyle on your bag, whatever, it's up to you. I'm just gonna do pure freestyle. I think today, what I'm gonna focus on is trying to move the chucks around my body as kind of quickly as possible and just trying to keep them going. So me personally, I'm not gonna be doing too much spinning and tossing and stuff today unless my arms just get really tired. You're welcome to do whatever you'd like, right? It's up to you. This is your freestyle, this is your time. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna do 3 minutes. On your mark, get set, go. Whatever you wanna do. Right. I said my goal right now, I think, is just gonna be focusing on moving the chucks around in different ways and just trying to keep them going at a relatively high rate. If you wanna move around while doing this, you're more than welcome to do that also. It's up to you how you want to do it. This is your freestyle, your time. Keep it going, keep going. And that's time. Catch your breath. Shake your arms out if you need to. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just grab this other pair of chucks. And I'm gonna quickly recap what it is that we went over today. So starting off, we did random call out. So we did that for about 8 minutes. I just said something and then we did that. And then we did angle gripping, doing this in a sparring stance. After that, we worked on some double chuck stuff. The new technique that we learned today for this was a triangle strike, which is very similar to our diagonal strike. So go down at a diagonal angle, bring it across the waist, and then up. We worked on one and then the other, and then alternating. After that, we put it in a combination with our outward figure 8. Then we did a diagonal strike, and then we went triangle strike, and then it repeated again. After we got done with that, we went on to speed strikes. So the first speed strike for today was variation number 2. The second speed strike for today was variation number 4. We did 2 sets of 60 seconds. After that, we did our 3 sets of gripping, 30 seconds each. Then we did 3 minutes of freestyle. And I focused on just going as fast as I could around the body in different ways, working on different strikes and passes. Hopefully you enjoyed today's class. If you did, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, and do all the fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next class. Have a great day.